I sat on the edge of the bed and stared into the void in front of me. The room was dark, only the screen of my phone glowed quietly as it scrolled through another notification that I had no intention of opening. My head was noisy, thoughts jumped back and forth, refusing to form a coherent chain. Every day was a repeat of the previous one: morning, work, social media, fatigue, sleep, morning again. I felt like I was stuck in place, as if my life had turned into an endless treadmill that led nowhere new. What if I try something new? The thought flashed through my mind, but it was quickly drowned out by the voice of laziness and fear. But then I remembered something I had read once: to change something in your life, you have to stop doing what you did before. A quiet but insistent voice began to grow inside me, a desire to change everything. And then I made a decision that changed my life. I chose one simple action: to do it for 30 minutes every day, without exception. Not for a week, not for a month, but for exactly 100 days in a row. This decision was not sudden, it had been maturing in me for a long time. The first few days after my decision passed. Every morning began with the same ritual. I sat down at the table, opened the app on my phone, and immersed myself in a world that seemed foreign and incomprehensible. What I started doing was learning a new language, 30 minutes every day. At first, it was difficult. The words sounded like a set of meaningless sounds, the grammar rules seemed like a maze with no way out, and my memory treacherously forgot everything I tried to remember. My brain fought against change. Every time I tried to concentrate, my inner laziness whispered, "Why do you need this? Better switch to something easier. Why torture yourself?" But I knew that if I gave up now, I would return to my previous state. To that swamp where thoughts are muddy and days merge into a gray mass. Every new day was a challenge for me. On the one hand, there was fatigue, work, and routine tasks that consumed my time and energy. On the other hand, there was my promise to myself not to miss a single lesson or class. My brain continued to resist. It looked for any excuse to give up, to switch to something simpler and more familiar. "Why do you need these new words?" it said. "Better to relax and watch a TV series." But I learned to talk to myself differently. These aren't just words. They are the key to a new version of me. Each lesson is a brick in the foundation of a new way of thinking. I am rebuilding myself. 2 weeks passed. And then something unexpected happened. I noticed that I was beginning to understand phrases in films and songs. Simple words that used to be just sounds now took on meaning. It was the first glimmer of hope. The first small victories inspired me to go further. I felt my inner world gradually changing. My memory began to work better, my thoughts became clearer. It was a quiet but powerful explosion inside, as if a new light bulb had lit up in my brain, illuminating the dark corners of my consciousness. Almost a month and a half has passed. At some point, I encountered what many call a plateau, a period when it seems like there is no progress at all. I woke up in the morning and felt tiredness that literally weighed heavily on my shoulders. I couldn't remember words, I got confused by the rules, and my motivation was fading. I stared at the screen and thought, why am I even doing this? Maybe it's just a waste of time. My brain started setting clever traps, rationalizations and excuses to throw me off track. "You can skip today, you'll catch up tomorrow," it said. "You deserve a break." But I knew that if I gave up now, I would lose everything. I remembered my promise, 100 days without missing a day. And at that moment, I decided not to give up. After I went through the most difficult period, something new began. Every morning was no longer a chore, it became a ritual that I looked forward to. Words began to form meanings, sentences became conversations, and sounds became music. I began to notice that my brain was not just memorizing, but truly understanding. I found it easier to take in information, and my concentration became deeper. Each lesson no longer felt like a struggle, it was a flight. 100 days. 100 days of perseverance, struggle, small steps, and big doubts. And here I am, standing on the threshold of a new version of myself. My brain is not just an organ, it is an entire universe that is changing, expanding, and beginning to shine with incredible power. Words and phrases now flow easily, like music that has been playing somewhere inside me for a long time, but I am hearing it for the first time. My thoughts are quick, clear, and creative. I began to see connections where before there was only a chaotic mass of information. This is not just language learning. It was a journey into myself, breaking down old limitations and building new worlds. 100 days is not just a number. It is a symbol of strength, perseverance, and transformation. I am not the same person I used to be. My thoughts have become clearer, I have learned to concentrate, see more opportunities, and create new meanings. What started as a small daily activity, studying a new language for 30 minutes, turned into a path to freedom and inner growth. This is proof that our brain is incredibly plastic. That it is ready to change, grow, and surprise us, if only we give it a chance. My appeal to you. Start now. Choose your action, something that seems difficult but important. Do it for 30 minutes a day. No excuses. No skipping. 100 days, and you will see how not only your brain changes, but your whole life. Because a real explosion is not a moment of destruction, but a process of birth.